Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Hi PENDREAM team member Akwaba na master so be subscribe to your channel no click the bell so send the news to us on sabit me aka ntem no ati Randy Abbey any Nana Akomea good morning Ghana so na twema me ntwe kese pe fa judgment debt esi abeto Ghana for so 170 million US dollars judgment debt tuama GPs GC for na Nana Akomea any Randy Abbey discuss here good morning Ghana so na kwaya twema me ntwe kese pa Randy Abbey twema akofo adoba o me MPP fo nyina mbra why o me judgment debt ne ba no mo de campaign hunyum nyina ka kire Ghana for say omonvoti NDC for out no omono eba omonhwese ombehwese sa judgment debt and ebi nsibio den afi de omachina ho aye judgment debt we anke avoidable anka omobetimi a prevent no obia yi nani ama oma cancel sa contract where I say Ghana ye betu sika 170 million US dollars ya majuma ko GPGC ya input contract in Sikana KC Tiamo Munina 134 million US dollars. Then on na Akomea social say or they passed a judgment debts and the NDC paying ebe counter on acquire chuma menche between and Akomea and Randy Abbey. Make us a video no I am caught na.
Then Randy, you have bank switch. You remember bank switch?
Yes.
Where a contract was cancelled in 2009 or so, and led to we paying a lot of millions of dollars to a company called Bank Switch. You remember Reckl3ss? Reckl3ss is a Norwegian company that had a concession approved by Parliament, and in 2009 it was cancelled arbitrarily by a Minister of State, and we had to pay millions of dollars in judgment debt. And today we have another judgment debt on our hands, where it has been legally proven that we didn't have any case. Now, through the period from Bank Switch, from Wayome, from Reckl3ss, through to today, what's the name of this company? CG something.
It is GCP.
Through today, we are having public officials cancelling contracts that are proven to be legally unsustainable, and we are still paying judgment debts. And if we decide to play partisan, we can play partisan, but I can tell you, next year, next 2 years, next 3 years, you will still have people committing this, because when it comes, we just play partisan and then we leave. It should be possible to tweak the laws that would ensure that culpability would be put at the doorstep of those who sign these contracts, who cancel these contracts, that are then determined to be legally unsustainable.
But do you need to tweak the law?
But I'm saying it's been happening over the period. We don't do anything.
Yeah, because my problem is that I look at the Ghanaian who's watching the show, who remembers that just about 10 years ago, we made the issue of judgment debt a key issue.
Yeah.
We broke down the Wayome 40 million and even showed what the state could have done with that 40 million.
Yeah.
What we have lost out on the base of the 40 million. How cruel and insensitive that particular action was. And it became a campaign issue. And one of the things that we wrote on to us we voted for was that we were never going to tolerate this kind of things.
Yeah.
So when under our watch, in fact, there are people who have been sent to jail because we said that they didn't have board approval.
Yes.
A subcommittee of a board is not a board. They didn't have board approval over some things. We've sent them to jail. There are people who are standing trial because we say that processes were not exhausted or not followed before contracts were awarded. We've done that. So we cannot, 10 years on, be relying on a historical narrative or perspective to be saying that, look, it appears that this is our sickness. We must all come together and find a way of find a solution to our sickness.
But have you asked yourself,
Yes.
why since Wayome,
Yes.
Bank Switch, Reckl3ss, this one, CNG, Why are people getting away with it? My worry is that because public officials are getting away with it,
yes,
that's why we have, because as we speak, I haven't been involved in cancelling the contract that promotes
yes.
So
yes.
it is not even a group.
It's
the individual thing.
It's a leadership, it's a paralysis in leadership.
Yeah.
And we should be bold enough to say it, because Nana, you sitting there,
I agree.
You don't have the power.
No, but I'm saying that
to go and prosecute anybody or cause anybody to prosecute. I don't have.
Okay.
But somebody has.
Fine. So,
or a group of people have. And they have told us how this thing has been debilitating.
Yes. And
as far as I've watched, and how they were going to deal with it.
How it can be prevented.
Yes.
Now, you say it's leadership paralysis.
You don't agree?
Oh, no. I agree.
Okay.
But why leave it to the discretion of some leader?
Because the law provides.
Why don't we make the laws in such a way
yes.
that it shouldn't depend on whether some leader is going to act or not? Because I believe that if we have provisions in our law that can be activated, that can lead us to establish culpability and punish people.
Maybe the special prosecutor can. Maybe.
Yeah. So if the special prosecutor can.
I said maybe he can.
Well, maybe. But let us take it up. Because if we don't punish people, the NDC today, Samuel Kujeto, Jinapo and so on, they are unhappy. If they come into office next year or next 2 years, somebody, not Samuel Kujeto, somebody in the NDC could repeat the same action. Maybe because they can get away with it.
If we punish leaders, for condoning such activities, subsequent leaders will be worried.
Yes. Do you know
that serve as a deterrent?
Do you know that we actually at one point set up a Judgement Dept commissioner?
Yes.
And they made recommendations.
Yes. The sole inquirer.
Yeah. What has happened to the recommendation? You see. So because we set it up so that they will go. I think it's now in the Supreme Court.
It's retired.
It's retired. Yeah. We actually set up a Judgement Dept commissioner to go into these issues and make recommendations to deal, to make sure they don't happen again. What happened to them?
And the recommendations are all there. People are just not interested.
You see?
Because they are beneficiaries.
You see? But that's what I'm saying. That let's have a better way of exacting accountability. Because when Wayome was happening, and bank switch was happening, and ACES was happening, we in the NPP, we complained. Even in Wayome, we actually had songs. So, I am not happy.
You didn't just complain. You promised.
But when you...
Nana Akufo-Addo, Dr. Bawumia, many others, not just complained, but gave that as a basis for why the NDC should be voted out.
Yes.
And that they promised that it will never ever occur under their watch. If it is occurring under their watch,
zero tolerance.
We cannot say that, this is a sickness that we have all been suffering. Let's see how we can find a cure. But that will be unacceptable.
Yes, I agree. But I'm saying that if you don't find a way, that can allow us to deal with this in whoever is president or whoever is vice president. Today, Samuel Kujeto is complaining. 2 years, another colleague of his will do the same thing. Because people are getting away with it.
But why are they getting away with it?
That's what I'm saying. Let's find a way to make sure people don't get away with it. Like I'm saying, we even had a Judgement Dept commissioner, didn't we? Who sat for 9 months and went through all the debts that had occurred before that time and made recommendations.
But we're supposed to implement them.
And how long ago was this?
No, I'm saying there are people who are supposed to implement them.
And I'm saying, how long ago was this commissioner?
You see, what year was it? My issue is that if I sit here as a Ghanaian and I see that somebody gave a contract was given, things were supplied, a government has come to power and it says that, look, due process was not followed. So these people must go to jail. Due process was not followed. They are yet to even establish that we lost money or something. They said due process was not followed. So they must go to jail. And then under the watch of the same government, I see that over 2 billion. In fact, we even revoked a banking license on the basis that we suspect that the case which is in court, which has not been adjudicated upon, that the proceeds of that transaction which is in court were used to procure a license, a banking license. So even when a court has not pronounced on the propriety or otherwise of that particular transaction, we relied upon that to revoke a banking license. And then under the same government, that raises the bar of public service and accountability to that high level. We see that we are going to pay about $200 million. And you read the document, and you see the level of culpability, the lack of due care and everything, and yet nothing is happening. We are even happy to start paying for those monies. I cannot turn around and say that it is the absence of laws. It is a historical thing.
So it is leadership failure. But why has leadership failed over the period?
Maybe you should tell me.
No, but that's what
you have been closer to leadership than I. You should tell me. You've been in cabinet.
Yes.
For many years.
You've been a cabinet minister for years. You've been a senior member of parliament
for
years.
You would agree that a government is made up of individuals.
True.
You see?
True.
A government is made up of individuals.
True.
So a government will say that, or not, people in a group will say that this thing is bad. When we can, we'll do something about it. When they come and they're not able to do something about it, it's still individuals. Like I'm saying, today Samuel Kujeto is against Judgement Dept. I was against Judgement Dept doing the Woyome payments. But if we don't have some specific laws, Samuel Kujeto's party may come into office in 2025. 2025. Somebody may go and cancel contracts without reference to Samuel Kujeto. Without reference to you. So,
but when it happens, Samuel Kujeto will expect that if his party leadership were really committed to what they said, they will act.
But his party,
and that if they do not act, the Ghanaian people must see that as connivance and collusion.
Yes. But that's what we said, that leadership over the time has not acted. Why? Since Woyome. In fact, in Woyome, it took Amidu, who at that time was a private citizen, to even get some serious court action on the way. Can you imagine? And I'm saying, if we do not act in a way that directly puts the incidents on perpetrators, people will come and hide. Oh well, it's a government decision. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It says a government decision. You have a case where even the courts ruled against payments, and yet payments were made. And those officials who occasioned those payments against a court decision, leadership didn't act. And so, right through 10 years later, you're still having the same situation. And then Samuel Kujeto goes on, says Bawumia is a puppet. Why is Bawumia a puppet? He says because, what did you say? How did you justify it? I said something.
No, I mean, it's obvious that everything is being done based on statements that your own people have put out.
But the NPP,
you read the Alanchon statement.
The NPP wants to come into
office. Upon everybody.
The NPP wants to come.
The system has deliberately been skewed because the current cabal want to make sure that he comes to protect them.
Yeah, but that is not showing respect to the hundreds of thousands NPP delegates who elected Bawumia. Bawumia was not selected by Akufo-Addo or Nana Akomea. Bawumia was elected by a majority of hundreds of thousands of NPP delegates. So don't come and sit here and call him a puppet. Now, if you believe that he was selected by Akufo-Addo, have you wondered how come he managed to win over 60% of the votes if he was just somebody who's been selected by the president? So,
quite a poor performance after all of that.
Yes, so all this poor performance that you mentioned, and you've mentioned him in this judgment that, that he's the one, whether it's his family or not, I don't know. Now, all this poor performance, have you wondered why he got over 60% of the over 200,000 delegates voting for him? And then he says that, because of the poor performance, Alan Chermantin has left the party. Your propaganda knows no end. Have you forgotten the people who have left your party because of internal elections, including a national chairman? Do you remember? Including the national chairman. They left the party. So, I come to sit here to say somebody has left NPP because of Baomia's poor performance. So why did your national chairman leave your party? Why? the other people who left your party, the Guzitanos and so on, why did they leave your party? In this case, Kurapodia, they took part in the process, and when they were not successful, they left. In your case, your people just said, no, we're not going to take part. Now, Samuel Kujato says this judgment debts, that $20 million has been paid. It's unfortunate. Actions have been taken that have not been supported legally, so we are paying. But this business about hospital bills are not paid and so on, pure propaganda. Because any expenditure has an opportunity cost. So at the time when we're paying ACES $35 million because somebody decided to cancel the ACES contract, a contract that has been approved by Parliament. We couldn't pay student utility bills. But we chose to take $35 million to pay judgment debt to ACES. At that time, we couldn't pay student utility bills. You remember? You were a minister in education, wasn't it? At that time, we told students that we couldn't pay their bills. So they should pay their electricity bills. And we said that it was an innovative alternative means to tackle increasing utility debts.
Who said that? This is pure propaganda. Who said that?
You want me to show you
Who said that? Mention the name of the person who made that statement.
Oh, I can give you the story. I mean, I'm not just going to come here and talk about something when I don't have it. I will give you the link now. But at the time that we paid, and that's why I don't want to partisan, at the time that we paid $35 million for cancelling ACES in 2009, 2010, as a country, we couldn't pay student utility bills. You see. So, and the people who cancelled ACES, they are still there, unpunished. The people who cancelled the bank switch contract, are still there, unpunished. The people who cancelled paid the Woyome thing, they are still there, unpunished. Tomorrow, somebody will look at it and say, oh, this thing, if you do it crime, you go to court and you find you get it. I'll get away with it.
So, Nana, why hasn't your government punished all these people? Because we are told that criminal prosecution is neither time nor statute barred.
Well, what I would like to see, because we've mentioned it here, that a special prosecutor should be encouraged to take it up. I'll be all for it. And if he has time to go through all the other debts and see if culpability can be established. Because it's your money, it's my money. isn't it? Yeah. If people, we're talking about student utility bills, we're talking about hospital bills. If the people can't pay for hospital, they will come and harass you. They will come and harass me. They come and harass Samuel Kujeto. So it's in our own interest that public monies are applied for the public good. And if we can find a way of making people culpable, I am all for it. If the special prosecutor can take this up, I don't know what Parliament can do. Can you call up somebody and question them? And is it possible? Because the people who sign now, they're out of government. The particular person who signed is out of government. But I don't know. I mean, I'll be happy if, led by the opposition, that Gina Pauls and Samuel Kujetus can find a way of getting some accountability out of this. Otherwise, Randy will come and lament on big platforms like this. And we'll go away.
Must the president himself, who on countless occasions told us that he will protect the public purse, not be interested in getting to the bottom of this issue?
He should.
And finding
justice
for Ghana.
No, he should. He should.
Yeah.
He should.
Okay.
He should.
All right. We'll be back shortly.